Once upon a time in a faraway land, there was a little cloud who lost her puff. No, not that kind of puff. She wasn't a puffer fish. It was a puff like in a cumulus cloud, a big white puffy cloud. But she wasn't big and white and puffy. She was small and gray and flat. Just look at her. Now, all the other clouds in her family could thunder and flash and rain and make beautiful rainbows. But she couldn't do any of those things. Not even a little bit. She tried and she tried, but all that came out was a tiny puff, which, is kind of embarrassing when your name is Cloud and all you can do is make a tiny puff. You kind of feel useless, One day, Cloud was feeling especially blue because it was the annual Cloud Appreciation Day in the Sky Kingdom. And all the other clouds were going to get a giant gold star for being awesome clouds, except her. She was going to get a tiny little silver star for being, kind of a cloud. As she flew sadly through the sky, she saw a little girl sitting on a tree stump in the forest below. The girl had a book in her lap, but she wasn't reading it. She was just staring at the ground with a big frown on her face. "Hello," said Cloud. "Why are you so sad?" The girl looked up at Cloud and then back down at her book. "I lost my puffin," she said. "He flew away from our nest while I was taking a nap, and now he's gone." The little Cloud felt sorry for the girl. She knew what it was like to lose your puff. So she did the only thing she could think of to cheer her up. She puffed herself up as big as she could and let out the tiniest puff she could muster. The girl looked up at Cloud and smiled for the first time since her puffin had flown away. "Thank you," she said. "That was the best little puff I've ever seen." Then she got an idea. "Hey, little Cloud," she said. "Why don't you come down here and play with me and my friends in the forest?" So Cloud did. She flew down into the trees and met the girl's friends. They were all little animals who lived in the forest. There was a squirrel, a rabbit, a chipmunk, and even a grumpy old owl. "So, little Cloud," said the squirrel, "do you want to see us do the Forest Olympics? We're having an acorn throwing contest, a leaf pile jumping contest, and even a pine cone eating contest. Want to see us do those things?" I don't really do much," said Cloud. "All I can do is make a tiny puff. I'm not very good at it, but if you want, I can try." "Oh, we want you to try," said the rabbit. "We've never seen such a tiny puff before. It might be just what we need to win the Forest Olympics." And they all cheered, except for the grumpy old owl. "Humph," he said. "A cloud that can't rain or thunder or flash, what good is she gonna be?" Just then, they all heard a big crash in the bushes, followed by some panicked squeaking. The friends all looked at each other. "Uh-oh," said the chipmunk. "It's those pesky forest fires again. They're starting a new fire over by the oak trees." All the little animals started to cry, but Cloud had an idea. "Don't worry, little animals," she said. "I may not be able to rain or thunder or flash, but I can still help." Then she puffed herself up as big as she could and flew as fast as she could towards the oak trees. When she got there, she saw a mama bird flapping her wings really hard. She had 5 babies in her nest, but the fire had gotten so close she was afraid they would all burn up. When she saw Cloud, she squeaked, "Please help us, little Cloud. Can't you thunder or flash or rain? Please help us." Cloud took a deep breath, then let out the tiniest puff she could muster. It wasn't lightning, but it was enough. The puff put the fire out and saved the nest of baby birds. All the forest friends cheered for Cloud. Even the grumpy old owl had a smile on his face. "Well, I'll be a grumpy owl," he said. "You may be small and gray and flat, little Cloud, but you certainly are useful." And all the other clouds in the Sky Kingdom saw what Cloud had done. They were so proud of her. They all flew down and gave her a big group hug. And from that day on, Cloud wasn't sad about being small and gray and flat anymore, because she knew she had a big heart and a very special talent. And that's the tale of the little Cloud who lost her puff, but found a friend. Thank you for coming along on this adventure with us. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Good night, little one.